Welcome everybody to today's GOT16 RD4 Doug Jones League Daily Recap Podcast, brought to you by the good folks at Yoo-Hoo and IS Fans Productions. Yoo-Hoo, great taste and nutrition. Plymouth First Comers met Miami Goldfish for a 3-game set in Marlins Park in Miami today, playing on grass. Miami Goldfish won the first game over Plymouth First Comers by a score of 6-1. Winning pitcher was Smoltz, losing pitcher was Clemens. In a squeaker in the second game before a large crowd of 35,000 to 41 under sunny skies, Alvin Crowder pitched a complete game to give Miami Goldfish a 5-4 victory over Plymouth First Comers. Losing pitcher was Zito. In the third game before a nice crowd of 24,208 under cloudy skies, Dolph Luque pitched a complete game to give Miami Goldfish a 5-3 victory over Plymouth First Comers. Losing pitcher was Blyleven.
Hanks A Lot 6 met Kentucky Mules for a 3-game set in Muhlebach Field in Kansas City today, playing on grass.
In the first game, before a nice crowd of 14,213 under sunny skies, Smokey Joe Williams pitched a complete game shutout to give Hanks A Lot 6 a 5-0 victory over Kentucky Mules.
Losing pitcher was Gonzalez. Hanks A Lot 6 won the second game over Kentucky Mules in a blowout by a score of 15-6. Winning pitcher was Henry, losing pitcher was Fossum. George Blaholder started for Kentucky Mules and Pete Vukovich started for Hanks A Lot 6. Hanks A Lot 6 won the third game over Kentucky Mules in a squeaker by a score of 4-3. Winning pitcher was Bond, losing pitcher was Johnson. Jason Johnson started for Kentucky Mules and Tommy Bond started for Hanks A Lot 6.
Green Sand Beach met Baby Got Bat V for a 3-game set in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta today, playing on grass. Baby Got Bat V won the first game over Green Sand Beach by a score of 7-2. Winning pitcher was Feller, losing pitcher was Santana. Green Sand Beach won the second game over Baby Got Bat V by a score of 8-4. Winning pitcher was Glavine, losing pitcher was Norman. Fred Norman started for Baby Got Bat V and Tom Glavine started for Green Sand Beach. In the third game before a nice crowd of 36,277 under partly cloudy skies, Oral Hildebrand pitched a complete game to give Baby Got Bat V a 8-1 victory over Green Sand Beach. Losing pitcher was Rogers.
BOD Game of Thrones met Stoner's Mighty Seasons for a 3-game set in Citi Field in New York today, playing on grass. In a pitcher's duel in the first game before a large crowd of 37,856 under sunny skies, Leon Day pitched a complete game shutout to give BOD Game of Thrones a 1-0 victory over Stoner's Mighty Seasons. Losing pitcher was Sabathia. In a walk-off win in the second game before a sold-out crowd of 41,800 under sunny skies, Nixie Callahan pitched a complete game to give Stoner's Mighty Seasons a 4-3 victory over BOD Game of Thrones. Losing pitcher was Harrison. The winning run scored when Eduardo Perez lined a single to left center, scoring Huggins. In the third game before a sold-out crowd of 41,800 under sunny skies, Mark Burrell pitched a complete game to give BOD Game of Thrones a 5-2 victory over Stoner's Mighty Seasons. Losing pitcher was Hansen.
Rocket Dogs met Got Bombed Redux for a 3-game set in Truist Park in Atlanta today, playing on grass. In the first game before a nice crowd of 29,052 under partly cloudy skies, Mark Redman pitched a complete game to give Rocket Dogs a 5-1 victory over Got Bombed Redux. Losing pitcher was Marbury. In the second game before a nice crowd of 27,847 under partly cloudy skies, Mort Cooper pitched a complete game to give Rocket Dogs a 10-3 victory over Got Bombed Redux. Losing pitcher was Harshman. In the third game before a sold-out crowd of 41,084 under sunny skies, Dave Stieb pitched a complete game to give Got Bombed Redux a 4-2 victory over Rocket Dogs. Losing pitcher was Sorrell. Cal Abrams made an outstanding play when he sprinted into the gap to take a hit away from Salmon, who already had a pair of hits off of Stieb.
Electric Amish met Doug Jonestown Massacre for a 3-game set in Cleveland Municipal Stadium in Cleveland today, playing on grass. In the first game before a large crowd of 65,593 under sunny skies, Rube Wahlberg pitched a complete game to give Electric Amish a 4-2 victory over Doug Jonestown Massacre. Losing pitcher was Leesenby. Electric Amish won the second game over Doug Jonestown Massacre by a score of 9-5. Winning pitcher was Reuter, losing pitcher was Nieves. Webster McDonald started for Doug Jonestown Massacre. Doug Jonestown Massacre won the third game over Electric Amish by a score of 4-1. Winning pitcher was Losey, losing pitcher was Worthington. Got 16 RD for Doug Jones League Day's best performers were John McGraw, who had the best RC performance today for Rocket Dogs in the second game today at Truist Park. He created 3.2 runs on 2 hits, including in 2 stolen bases, and Smokey Joe Williams had the best game score today for Hanks A Lot 6. He scored 86.0.
Here are the current standings. In the East Division, Miami Goldfish has a record of 66-63 and has a lead over Plymouth First Comers, who has a record of 65-64. Kentucky Mules has a record of 61-68. Hanks A Lot 6 has a record of 60-69. In the Central Division, Rocket Dogs has a record of 69-60 and has a lead over Baby Got Bat V, who has a record of 63-66. Electric Amish has a record of 63-66. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons has a record of 54-75. In the West Division, BOD Game of Thrones has a record of 80-49 and has a lead over Green Sand Beach, who has a record of 70-59. Got Bombed Redux has a record of 65-64. Doug Jonestown Massacre has a record of 58-71. Here is your GOT16 RD4 Doug Jones Injuries Report. For Doug Jonestown Massacre, Deer, Rob, out for 7 more days, 6 more games. For Green Sand Beach, Stinky, Eddie, out for 1 more day, 1 more game. For Rocket Dogs, Ojeda, Bob, out for 1 more day, 1 more game. Here are the current batting leaders. The home run leader is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 43. The top run scorer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 99. The top RBI producer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 118. The highest batting average belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who has .320. McGuire, Mark from PFC, has the most runs created at 100.67. The stolen base leader is Morgan, Joe, from DJM, who has 38. The most game-winning RBIs is from Schmidt, Mike from SAT, who has 16. The longest current hit streak belongs to Cruz, Walton from SAT, who has hit in 7 straight. The longest hit streak belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who hit in 21 straight. Here are the current pitching leaders. The ERA leader is Burrell, Mark from BGO, at 3.26. The top game winner is Burrell, Mark from BGO, who has 19. The strikeout leader is Waddell, Rube from Art, who has 192. The highest number of complete games belongs to Glavine, Tom from GSB, who has 9. Burrell, Mark from BGO, has the most innings pitched at 256.2. The saves leader is Ward, Dwayne from DJM, who has 22. Here is tomorrow's schedule. Baby Got Bat V is at Rocket Dogs in Wrigley Field, 2017 to 2021, Chicago. Got Bombed Redux is at Doug Jonestown Massacre in Cleveland Municipal Stadium, 1948 to 1954, Cleveland. Green Sand Beach is at BOD Game of Thrones in Busch Stadium, 2001 to 2005, St. Louis. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons is at Electric Amish in Baker Bowl, 1915 to 1919, Philadelphia. Kentucky Mules is at Plymouth First Comers in Fenway Park, 1946 to 1950, Boston. Miami Goldfish is at Hansa Lot 6 in American Family Field, 2017 to 2021, Milwaukee. Thanks for listening to today's game. For the best classic fantasy baseball game on the market, visit imaginesports.com. Good night all and God bless.
Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Feller, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Well, Casey was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in. Kiner and Midget Goodell, the Thumper and Mel Parnell, and Ike was the only one winning down.